This demonstration, we're going to have a look at the best practices for restricting user mailbox sizes on our mailbox server. We're also going to have a look at how we use the Exchange Management Console to configure storage quotas, and we'll also have a look at the Exchange Management Shell to bulk configure storage quotas across our various groups. So first things that we'll have a look at here, we've got recipient configuration, and the user I'm concerned about here is Luca Delamore. Luca Delamore happens to be a temporary user, so what I want to do here is just limit back this user. So we'll right click on Luca, we'll just come to the properties of Luca. Once we get in here, we're concerned about the user mailbox settings tab, and then under here we're concerned about storage quotas. So into properties, and as we can see here, we can either use the mailbox database defaults or we can modify Luca's settings individually and override those. So as we can see, we've got a number of different options here. We've got issue warning at. What this does is when a mailbox reaches the size that we specify at a predetermined schedule, usually daily by default, any mailbox enabled user will receive a message indicating that the mailbox have become too large. Prohibit send. When the mailbox reaches the size we specify, the user can no longer send messages, and this is because sent messages take up space as well. The user will then receive a message and the mailbox can still receive messages. The last option is to prohibit send and receive. So when the mailbox reaches the size we specify, the user can no longer send or receive messages. The user receives a warning message that the mailbox is too large. If we do use something like unified messaging, it will also prohibit email reception, and this could result in lost email messages, voicemail messages, and faxes. Most organizations, according to Microsoft, tend not to select this option. So on here, as you can see, we can override the settings by issuing a message at, and what we'll do here will be quite generous and put in 100,000 megabyte. We'll prohibit send when we get to 150,000 megabyte. And what we'll then do as well is prohibit send and receive at 200,000 megabyte. Got that in place. We can also decide that if Luca does delete any emails, Luca can get those email messages back for up to 30 days. We'll click OK at this point here. Click OK. We've now overridden those settings specifically for Luca Delamore. The next thing we can do here is we can come in and we can set up bulk settings by using the Exchange Management Shell. Now what we're going to do here is for every single mailbox database that sits on server van EX1, I want to set some mailbox warnings based off a 50 megabyte limit. So I'm going to issue warning quota at 50 megabytes. To do that, we use the get-mailbox database command. We then use the set-mailbox database command. So what I'll do here, just type in the command to allow me to limit this to 50 megabyte. So as you can see here, I'm going to get my mailbox database from server van EX1. I'm going to set this mailbox database and I'm going to issue a warning quota 50 megabytes. So once I get up to 50 megabytes, I'll get a warning produced. Hit return. It's now gone away and done that. So if I'd done a get-mailbox database -server van EX1, I'd then be able to look at that issue quota. Next thing I want to do is I want to configure just the user mailboxes that are contained in the marketing organization. And what I'm going to do with these people here, because they send out a load of rubbish that you've probably received, we're going to prohibit their send quota to be 75 megabyte. Again, I'm going to use very similar commands in order to set that, but specifically it will be for marketing. So again, just need to type in the command. So as you can see, we're going to get the mailbox database, organizational unit marketing. Next thing we're going to do with that is we're going to set that mailbox database for all users in marketing to prohibit send quota to be 75 megabytes. All done, return back the flashing cursor, so we've now set that in place. That's the end of this demo. Thanks very much.